Hey everyone, welcome back to Rogue Legacy: Lament of Zors. So last time, we found that we really need to level up before we can enter Force the new area. So this will be a grind session. Because of that, I want to make a few promises. I'm not going to do anything to, like, expand the castle. I'm not going to try to discover anything new about the game. I'm going to make it so that if you don't want to watch a grind session, you can just skip this episode, and you will pop back up to us leveled up to actually face the new area. But I'm going to do the grind anyways, because I'm sure some people do enjoy watching this. But yeah, during this I will be talking about my current opinions of the mod to fill the air, and I'm just going to keep going until either we're at a level I think is good enough, or until my throat gives out, basically. That could happen. I won't deny that. Dwarven Archmage. Yeah, I'm going to do a Dwarven Archmage just because I'm grinding, and this is going to... I mean, this is probably going to win me the game if I try to, but... I mean, I guess we'll be testing. Can this just win you the game on its own? Alright. So let's see. We'll just go with mana up since, you know, this is going to want it. So I have my axe, I have daggers, which are only 2 MP, and I have time stop, which is 3 MP. Beautiful. Alright. We're going to test out if that time stop is going to last long enough to just walk through the dungeon. That's going to be the very first thing we do. And yeah, I do not have enough money to buy any of these, so just checking. So we have a haste rune, not really interested. So really I'm just interested to get the siphon rune, but nothing of value right now. So, as for this mod, I'm going to wait till time stop goes into effect to see if I... Alright, so I am losing it faster than I'm gaining it. That's good. Alright. Because if I didn't lose it faster than I was gaining it, then this would have been broken. It's still pretty insane, but at least it's not going to solo win me the game. Like, I actually have to play it still, which is what I was worried about. So with that, I guess I should talk about my opinion of this mod. So, one of the big things about the mod is it gives basically 4 times the game size, but not 4 times the content, so at least so far. It's just a bigger world, not a more threatening world. I haven't seen any new enemies. Yeah, I'm going to switch out since I can't keep that forever. But yeah, I haven't seen any new enemies. And, like, now, I guess I should bring it up, yeah, is that a bad theme? If you're new to the game, I would say yes. If you're just, like, trying to play the game to see the ending and have a fun experience for the first time, this could be off-putting, just being so huge with nothing additional in between. So I would recommend if this is your first time, unless you really like the zen of just, like, grinding, I would recommend you just play the base game. Which brings me to the value of this. I like the zen of grinding. Specifically with this game, I still come back to play it, because this kind of having to be... The fact that in this game, you have to keep focused, because something could jump out at you, but at the same time, you could just keep going with your rhythm. And, like, you could get punished, but you don't lose everything. You don't even lose the gold you have, you just are forced to use it. You lose your character. I like how it balances things, and that's one of the things I enjoy the most about it. So, as someone who comes back for that, I'm glad this exists. I'm glad I'm able to come back to it in the way I want to come back to it. Before knowing about this mod, I actually have a file that is just set everything's done except for the final boss, and I just go back to it to clear out the entire dungeon. Then, once I'm done clearing out the entire dungeon, I face the final boss and purposefully die to it, so that I can do it again. So, having just 4 times the dungeon to do that with, I really appreciate. Now, yeah, again, not most people will not want that. This is not something you give people on their first time. This is something that you appreciate if you appreciate the game in the first place, if you want to come back to it. So, fortunately, in other words, this mod is for people who have already played the base game, not for new players. I want to make that clear, that, at least in my opinion, that's what it seems like. I would not recommend this to someone who just picked up the game. But as I am enjoying this mod more than the base game because I played the base game so much. So, but yeah, that's pretty insane, even if it isn't infinite. Even if it isn't infinite length, it's still very long and extremely powerful. Anyways, I guess from there we should go over each class. I'm going to actually start with the Archmage, because I think this is the one mistake with this version of the game. The fact that the Archmage is so ridiculously powerful. Like, it needed a boost. So, I guess I should explain the Archmage in the base game first. In the base game, the Archmage is perhaps the weakest class, because first of all, you might notice that I can't really use my sword much. With, like, it deals 17 damage. That's less than before I got any upgrades. That's very minimum damage. So they had minimum damage. They did not have any decrease to their mana costs, so the daggers would cost 10 mana points. And whenever they kill a minion, they gain only 6 mana points back. And they have to kill a minion. They don't gain it back regularly. So what that meant was that you would spend most of the game, like, you have to spend all your mana, you then run out, and you're just kind of ruined. You have to use your weak sword. You have nothing else you can use, and it's just, you're basically just holding on for dear life. And then you get back, and you're having these spells, which, while stronger, let's see, in this version, spells can crit and all of that. They can't crit in the original game. The intelligence, like, yeah, they had higher intelligence, but it's like if you could only... Basically, your main weapon was unreliable. That was the main problem. Also, like, keep in mind, I only get 3 spells. If the spell I wanted was not on that list, sucks to be me. Sucks to be me. Looks like I just have to die, I guess. Like, there were problems with the base mage. I understand why they increased it. I'm glad that they have passive regeneration, that I can actually use daggers. And I think that was good. I think the thing that pushed it over the edge, the thing that made it so that this was just ridiculous. Well, one, the passive regeneration is so fast that I can spam it. Like, I'm literally throwing daggers to clear out objects because there's just, I have enough mana. I don't need to save it. Healing, so that it basically the weakness of the mage is not having health. So by allowing mana to absorb damage, you took away its weakness, and then if you're going to have a powerful magic weapon, which magic weapons are powerful, that's why they have the mana costs, make sure that you need to, like, I would like to have to use the axe and then have to avoid it, evade for a while my mana replenishes. But the mana just comes back so fast. The mana comes back unreasonably fast. So the fact is, I don't have to use my... It's not just that I don't have to use my sword, it's that I can use my daggers, my axes, any weapon I want to use. And there's no repercussions, no cost, nothing. They're basically free because of how fast mana regenerates. Because time stop is not free, and that's the one exception. And, like, sure, recovering the time stop, I do like the idea that eventually you'll get it back. that I don't have to rely on mana drops to get it back. But I get it back by the next room, about. That's a little much. So what happened is it's just the So yes, if I were to be able to change this myself, I would remove the fact that mana absorbs damage, because being vulnerable is the weakness of the mage. I would also make it slow down the mana regeneration, or at least... Yeah, no, I would just slow down the mana regeneration. I'm alright, like, mana regeneration and mana cost reduction have to be balanced together. So, I think just slowing down the mana regeneration alone would be enough to make this class back in line with after that. Like, obviously I like using my spells a lot, but when I don't even have to use my sword, when it's nearly detrimental to try to use my sword, that's not okay. Like, you know, knights, barbarians, even though all of the classes still get at least one spell, even if they're not the best of them. But this knight, it's like, why even have spells? I mean, why even have a sword? Like, the most sword-based classes, the shinobi, they still have spells. But I basically don't have a sword. I don't need a sword at all. Maybe if I use Time Stop, I'll need a sword then. But you could just say that's part of the Time Stop spell more than the sword itself. Because yeah, like, I can traverse this easily. Or I could just... Oh. I could traverse this using the Dwarfism. Anyways. Order scenario? Oh, right. So, it's just, yeah, with there's no weaknesses. The thing that makes them strong, they had to put a limit on it, and so they just removed the limit. But, yeah, they removed the limit with, you know, no cost. They removed the weakness with no cost. They removed the weakness by having the weakness tied to the limit, which is removed. Like, I think they just, like, threw these ideas together. Like, I would not be surprised if there's an update to this Lament of Zor's that makes this more in line, because I feel like everything was thrown together to see what people think, and they didn't wait for the playtest. Oh, hey. Guess what? This is this guy. Alright, wait for it to get low. And yeah, like, sure, this isn't free mana, but I could just do this. Alright. Alright. Looks like that wasn't as perfect as I thought it was going to be. So, alright, at least the time stop isn't broken. I think I could still have done that with the axe easily, but I want to see if I could do it with just the time stop. Alright. Let's see, Hypergigantism. Alright, let's talk about the Paladin next. So I'm just going to play the Paladin because... to make it in line. Oh, for leveling? So I'm actually going to increase Death Defy. It's not a good idea to increase. I should have increased health or something, or armor. But Death Defy has that kind of surprise effect. You don't know when it's going to trigger, which makes it more fun. And it upgraded by 2%, not 1.5%, or... Huh. Anyways, I'm going to just quickly level all my stuff up. So we have the Curse Rune, not going to use. We have a Bounty Rune, might use that later. We have a Balance Rune. So Balance Rune is just 1 health, 1 mana instead of 2/2 for Vampirism and Siphon. It's useful. Like, I usually end up preferring Vampirism over it, but like, it is not a bad rune. Alright, so now let's actually get some stuff here. 650. Let's see. How are we with equipment? Alright. Oh, this one increases gold instead of damage. That's funny. Alright. Let's get the Knight Sword. Just give us a little more damage output. Let's see if anything's purchasable here still. Nope. Anything here? 525, 375, 300. Alright, so it looks like we misspent some of our money. But I guess Sharon's... Wait, all of your money? Don't I have the hackle? Lower the architect... Oh. Lower the architect's fee. Oh. So they changed this. Okay, that's cool. They changed that because the architect is probably a lot more valuable in this massive dungeon than it is in... Yeah, because Sharon's... It never mattered. I was always trying to expend as much as I could. So yeah, that was a good change. That was a good change. And those minor changes, I do appreciate. I'm still not going to be using the architect because right now I'm just grinding. And when grinding... Yeah, I'm going to be exploring the entire area anyways. So, maybe if all the treasure chests stay the same, it would be more valuable to use the architect. Oh! Okay. So, we're going to have to bring that up next time. Apparently, Kadir's Obol is an item they're allowing this early on. So Kadir's... Yeah, we'll explain that when the time comes. But that will come in the next life. So, let's talk about the Knight. So, they have the addition of the Knight. Knight in the original game was just kind of the generic class. They have average mana, average health, just they are the average class. Here they added the change that's... Here, I'll just pop it up. Here they added the change that the lower your health, the more bonus damage you get. I really like that change. Like a lot. It has this interesting risk-reward... Like, this game is about risk-reward. And so making the basic class a risk-reward class, where by being in danger, you feel more capable of taking risks. Like, by taking too much damage, I might be able to enter more dangerous zones because, well, I could deal more damage. I could actually take them out in time. And I think that's really cool. Like, I think that's a really cool way of balancing it and making it distinct. Because, yeah, one of the big problems was it wasn't a distinct class. So that gave it a distinction and did it really well. Shield has always been a problem. The fact, like, I'm moving left and right now. It's not doing anything. That's always been a thing that made me dislike the Paladin a bit, but that's who they are. Yeah, I think the shield still, so it deals 28 damage, still takes 25 MP. So yeah, it just always takes 25 MP, in case you're wondering. Yeah, it's just, why am I spending 25 MP when I can just get out of the way? Because I can't move while using the shield. If I'm in the air, I can stick with the trajectory, but I cannot move. So unless, like, by the time I've decided that's unavoidable, I don't have the time to hold my shield up, is the problem. So that was always a problem with the Knight. So, sorry, back to the way the mod changed it. I do like how they made it distinct and did it in a way that gives you back, that brings back to the base mechanic of the game, managing risk. I love that a lot. So yes, I love the changes they did with this class. The one thing is, I feel like they went a little too far. So like I was dealing 93 damage. Like, this is, let's see. I'm gonna see if it has my old strength. It doesn't, but my old strength is somewhere around like 30 or 40. It's over doubling my strength, it seems. That's too much. Like, that's turning me into a Hokage. That's like, it's putting the Hokage to shame in damage output. That's... I guess it makes sense that if you're on low health, it should be stronger than the Hokage, but... It's just... It's so severe in the damage output. And... I'm thinking about this as I'm answering it, so... I'm like making my opinion partially. I guess it makes sense that if you're gonna be... Well, I guess then there's this thing that Hokages are known for having low health, and if you're just like a Hokage when you want to be, and not a Hokage when you don't want to be, like, yeah, you're a Hokage when you want to be, and you're a Barbarian when you don't want to be Hokage, like, that's... Suddenly you made both those classes weaker, and both those classes were known for being strong, so... Well, I guess you're not making them weaker, you're capable of being one of the two strongest classes at will. I mean, when you look at the Archmage, this is definitely more well-balanced, by a long shot. And again, I like the managing risk aspect. I think in the long run, I think it's good. I do know that they scale, like, you know, at level 42, I should be able to take on the third area in the base game. I'm not able to take on the second area in this game. So, I think the scaling was a necessity. So, I'm sure they're going to prove that this was the right amount of scaling. But, yeah, this is... It feels like it at least feels like a little much when you're playing the game generically. When you're first starting the game. Yeah, overall, I do like this class a lot. I think they improved it for the better. I think there was room for improvements. The only concern is that they might have improved too much. But, like, compared to the Archmage, this is far more balanced. This is something I'm happy to play. I don't feel like I'm ruining the game by playing it. Like, they did well. They did well in this one. Like, yeah, I think when it comes to numbers, I'm being more nitpicky than productive. I think if it was too low, people would not like it'd be not a non-appreciable difference. So, yeah, I think they made the right call then. One question though: does it increase? If it doesn't increase intelligence damage, then that is a flaw because, like, maybe what if it spells increased as you lost mana or something like? Because right now, I'm realizing that this is all health-based, or this is all sword-based, so there's no reason for me to switch over to spells. Like, here. My strength is now 47 because I'm near max health again. My intelligence is 35. I'm pretty sure I attacked someone with a spell, and it was still put at 35. I would have appreciated if they had a way that you could increase your spell damage. Because if you can increase your spell damage, there's a strategy of whether you use your spells or not, which I feel isn't applied here currently. Maybe if, like, yeah, as I decrease my mana and therefore can use less spells, they become more powerful. That'd be an interesting way of doing it. And make the... Yeah, because here's 114, still 35. Like, it's not at scaling with the other. Now, yeah, if you're low on health and you just start spamming spells, that does break the game in another way. So what if, whenever you're low on mana, your spells do more damage? I think that would have made it so you could play both sides to actually be balanced in using both spells and sword. And, like, you know, I was literally talking about how brokenly powerful this was, and then I'd go along and talk about ways you can empower it. Like, that's the thing about this. Like, they did good. I think there is room for discussion. And, like, again, when you get down to it, I'm sure there would be a theme where if I had to build it as I do the math, like, keep in mind, I have not played through this all the way. I've not played through Lament of Source. I'm sure they'll throw another curveball at me, and it's going to be necessary that my health is this high, that the damage output increase is that severe. So, all in all, I think this is one of the best built characters, because it took the dynamic and expanded on it. This added a dynamic that made sense. That made it, like, feel like the core game stuff. So yeah, with the Knight, I think they did the best with. Like, sure, I was saying they could do better, but, like, that's perfectionism talking, not, like, practicality talking. If there ever is an update, so far, if there's ever an update, increase the magic, the intelligence of... So I just left because I knew that was a boss fight and I wasn't ready for it while talking about it. I should have grabbed that chicken first. But if there's an update, I would increase the intelligence as well as strength for the knights. Probably when you run low on intelligence, so there's that kind of mana consumption risk-reward theme. But other than that, so that you do that with the knight, and with the archmage, you make it so they don't redo. Yeah, I'm not ready for that right now. Not this low health. I need to take damage and start increasing my impact. I can't do it at low health. So yeah. Alright, let's start heading over to the point. Anyways, so the archmage needs to go down. Knight needs a slight, just magic-based buff. Just, you know, make it so that it's balanced again. Because right now it's just another brawler like the Hokage and the Barbarian King. But yeah, I do like this class a lot. So while I think I'm done talking about the Knight, I'm going to talk about the other classes. Knave. So my thing with the Knave... Oh! Well, we got something else to talk about. Hi there! Care to test your dexterity? You only get one shot, but it's free of charge. If you succeed, I'll give you a nice reward. 10 daggers to destroy 10 targets? Care to give it a try? So this is just like... It's basically free money. The problem is, it's kind of... They're all pretty hard. So, like, you really have to know your dagger throw ranges. Because, yeah, you only get so many tries, and you see how I keep missing? Like, I've already lost the ability to get the grand prize, but every time I hit one, I do get some gold. So, it's still worth shooting as much as I can and trying to hit the targets right. But it's not worth, like, spending my time on. The other one, so... The only problem is that there's only 2, but, like, I don't know how you would do others, so, like... Okay. You couldn't even hit 8 targets? Pfft, good luck with the rest of the castle. So yeah, I can't retry that. Talk to him. Okay, you had your fun. Beat it. But yeah, I do like those. I've gotten good at the other one because you can kind of just practice and learn how to do it properly. But that one involves so much timing. But I do like those carnival games. I'm surprised it took me this long to find one carnival. Right. I need to focus for a sec. So there's a lot of projectiles. Alright, well, I died. So I guess we'll figure out what class we'll talk about next, because I have to go choose a new class. Alright, Barbarian King, Spelunker. Alright. Alright, so the new Lich King, which, that's up to... Yeah, okay, because I am grinding, I'm gonna go with the Lich King. And yeah, we'll just talk about that next. So let's first find our upgrades. First, check these out. Haste rune. Yeah, see, I like have most of them here. Yeah, I think this is the class where I want the Siphon rune as well, because they regain mana. Alright. So, this one. Alright, so I do need to increase my armor to equip that rune. Alright, I've just spent all my, actually, that's... But, what was I saying? Sorry, I zoned out a bit. Health minus 55? Oh, because this gives me base health as well. So yeah, this is probably the worst of the vampirism runes. Alright. Well, this is definitely the one if I'm grabbing the blood sword. This is the guy who appreciates it the most. And I can buy the blood greaves as well. Oh, but then I can't equip them. Let's just check real fast if there's anything to purchase over here. Nope. So yeah, all of the things increase in price when I buy something, so... Not surprised. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna buy this one for people who want the critical damage layer, but this character wants the vampirism. So I'm just gonna check if the special lowers stats to heal. Alright, there we are. Changed its ability. Because yeah, I was like, so basically you lose EP to gain healing values. Alright. So that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Alright. Well, let's go then. So now time to talk about Sharon's Obol real fast. Oh, this is a very special Obol. Give it to me, and I shall let your soul pass through the other gates. Give Sharon the Obol and pay his toll? So yeah, I thought that you have to get to New Game Plus to start getting the Obols. If possible, we will not reveal what it is until next episode, but yeah, if it comes up, I will talk about it. For now, I want to talk about the Lich King. So, one of the things about the Lich King, the reason it was one of my favorites is because of the grind. I enjoy, basically the Lich King is the perfect class for this. For people that like Lamentum Source, Lich was the perfect character. Rewarding you for just grinding, basically. So, like, I've always liked it, and that this just... What this does is it just escalates the value for grinding. It makes it basically no cap. Instead of trading... health for mana, which is basically just one cap for another cap, it actually turned it into a valuable recovery, is what it said it does. And like that's what you use it for, basically. It would be like, oh, I took too much damage? Alright, well I'll just turn this back into regular, like I'll just make my max health, like my new damaged health, my new max health, and gain a bunch of mana in the process. Like it was a very creative thought. This, like, first of all, the fact that everything levels up, everything increases when you grind, is fun. But, alright, so just take no damage. How do I... Yeah, this class, the new improved vampire, is fun. We could talk about balance all day. It's fun. I think that's what they were going for with the Archmage. That's why I'm not too saddened about the way they changed the Archmage. Alright, excuse me a sec. Journal entry number 4. Everything about this castle is off. I can't seem to keep track of my headings. There's no sun or stars to guide me. I find myself backtracking constantly, and I must painstakingly map out my progress, lest I go in circles. maps I've pilfered off the corpses of other adventurers are breathtakingly inaccurate. It's almost as if they were describing a different castle altogether. Perhaps this place does something to the mind. Or are the stones truly shifting beneath my feet? But yeah, so just the example, it basically introduces how this game works through story, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I guess I should talk about that a bit, because I could tangent off of that a bit. A lot of people, when they talk about these games, they just pay attention to balance. But there are two other themes that go into balance: strategy and skill. Balance, I think, as we all know, it's just don't make the themes too powerful that they destroy everything else. Don't make themes too weak that it's not even worth attempting. Balance is pretty straightforward. You can figure out balance, if nothing else, by playtest. You try this out, it does not work at all. Proof that's not balanced. You could also suck, but like we're assuming competence. So, yes, I understand that's quite an assumption, but anyways, feel. So the other two, feel is a lot harder. This is. Does my character do what it's intended? Does it... If you're a knave, if you're a high-risk, high-reward character, are you actually feeling like you're taking risks? Are you feeling like you're getting rewarded for those risks? If you're an archmage, are you feeling like the mage? Like, I did talk about how the issue is that the sword is completely useless, but I think that was actually what they were going for. They wanted you to feel like you're, you know, you're not a swordsman anymore. You're a mage. So, I recognize the feel desire. I recognize the decision there. And I think the thing is, there's an argument that feel is more important than balance. Because balance, you'll never get perfect, first off. If everything's perfectly balanced, then you're not actually doing much. Like, if everything's perfectly symmetrical, you need so much complexity to make things interesting still, despite the same balance. Like, you can't make, weapons and magic will not be balanced by nature. If you balance them, that just makes magic the new weapon. I think that's my issue with the mage. Magic is the new weapon. It's the new spam used constantly. And I wanted magic to still feel distinct. Alright. Well, I guess it's showing this. So I'm not going to go through that door. But let me just say that that's how the door opens. When you find Kadir's Oval, you have a new entrance to a new version of Kadir to fight. I feel unfortunate because I made a promise not to learn more, and then I unlocked that. Oh well. I'm not going to go inside. I will not show you what's inside until we beat the rest of this area. Until the next episode at the very least. Alright. So, alright, we were talking about balance versus feel, and we were on feel. So yes, the problem with the Archmage was that it made magic so consistent that it became the new sword. That not just that the sword was useless, but it didn't feel too distinct from the sword. It was just spamming constantly. Like, they made sure it felt, you felt like a mage, but you lost what made magic so different, and that was the cost. And I think with balance, they'll make the mage, they can fix that up. But I'm trying to think of a good example of feel. It's really hard to come up with a good example of feel other than, like, does it do what you expect it to? Usually the good examples of feel are when feel fails. So you use that. You have negative examples other than positive ones. So I guess here's actually an example. This Lich, because it rewards you for exploration, you can argue this Lich is closer to an adventure. I'm not going to read this because in a previous video we already read that one. But yeah, I think that's a good example. So this Lich, you can argue that it's closer to be described by the adventure class to the Lich class. It's less about me taking from the enemies than it is becoming stronger through exploration. They basically gain experience points. They get stronger with time. I pressed the button to heal at the cost of evolution points, but did nothing. I'm not sure if that works properly. It might not work at all. Oh! There we are. Okay. That's how it works. Alright. But yeah, other than that change there, you can argue that this is better defined by the adventurer class. The fact that you're just, like, you're becoming stronger, you're gaining experience, basically. Ooh. Yep. Alright, so we're leaving. Huh. So, but on that, like, I love the Lich, not because I like Liches, because I like adventures. I like exploring. I like being rewarded for exploration. So in a way, the Lich actually failed in feel, but the balance, but, that's a good tangent into strategy. The strategy was precise. So strategy is basically, you know, if you play the Archmage the same way you play the Barbarian, strategy has gone horribly wrong. It's that given the situation, you change what your plan is, what your overall goal is. And when you gain, the idea is when you gain an ability, if that ability fundamentally alters what your plan is, or strengthens a certain plan, then you've succeeded in strategy. And so the Lich has basically, I love it because it, at least for, it not only succeeds in doing the strategy change, but the focus is on the type of strategy I enjoy the most. The completionist strategy, the take your time, go through things, figure things out properly. It rewards that. And that's what makes me enjoy the Lich so much. So yeah, favorite class, balance-wise, I think just... I feel like it's less that this is imbalanced, and more that this is my... Oh my gosh, level 100. Get me out. Get me out. Because this is my favorite class, I naturally build my strategy to be what happened to what's also the best strategy for the Lich. So perhaps this class isn't balanced. Like, I'd have to see how other people play this. Probably still imbalanced, probably still a little stronger than it should be, but maybe not as broken as I at least feel it is. So, nope. Yeah, I don't think there's any changes necessary to the Lich. The evolution value points, they did a good job with all this. Yeah, I think right now it's just so okay. So yeah, I think I talked about enough. I think I talked about what I want to say with the Lich, and even a little bit about my concept of design philosophy. I'm not a designer, by the way, but I do appreciate looking into that stuff, and therefore know a bit about it. Like, you know, if you're looking for design advice, definitely look to a professional, not me, but I do appreciate hearing and learning these things, so yeah. So yeah, power could be worked on a little bit, but I think, again, like it might just be because this is perfectly falling in line with how I would want to play it, that it seems so powerful. Alright, well I guess I'm just gonna just focus on other things. I guess, yeah, we're not gonna be able to play every single class during the grind, so I might as well describe my opinion of the other classes while we're here. So, Knave, it didn't seem like they changed anything with the Knave. That's my problem with it. The Knave was a weak class in my opinion. Like, once you get the Hokage, the consistent power output just makes the crits needless. Like, sure, they made it so you know when the crits are occurring, but they didn't increase the scale at which crits occur. I don't think they increased the damage of the crits. It's like, this is one of the things where, because they did not know how to change it without breaking the feel of it, it seemed. Like, I would not know how you build high risk, high reward except applied the Knight's ability to it. And the Knave does not seem like someone who's for the Knight's ability. I don't know, maybe allow super crits, which sounds as ridiculous. Yeah, maybe make it so that every 4th hit is a power hit, and then make... No, the more I say it, the less it makes sense. The more I think through it, the less it makes sense. Yeah, maybe with the luck aspect, just like sometimes when you're hit, you have a % chance of it just missing anyways, of like taking no damage. Just like add more to the luck factor of the Knave. Like, you know, the Death Defy, basically add that as a passive effect of the Knave instead of just the crits. So it becomes a luck character instead of just a crit character. Okay, well, let's just grab some gold and leave. Yeah, I don't want to explore that area because, again, I want to explore... like I said, I'm going to have some limitations to what I do during this grind episode. Alright. So... Knave... I just feel like they didn't do much with the Knave. Like, they kept the feel. Well, actually, you can argue that the feel wasn't done... Like... Now that they have the Knight, the risk-reward... Oh, let's see if this works. So, this is the way it goes diagonal, so it should be this one, and it should be the last one at the end here. Yes, alright. So it's second to last? So it's second to last, heading towards the center room, then it's last to last. Alright. Because, yeah, this was mirrored to the last time we faced this room. So basically you just, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you find this long, elongated room down there. So you just take the second to last, which brings it to you, and then you just go all the way to the end each time. That seems to be the solution to this room. Because they mirror it, but they don't change it drastically. Alright. So... I guess, yeah, with the basis of this game, the Knave's abilities are just too generic. It's not... You're not really a risk-reward character in a game about risk-reward, is the best way I have to explain it. Especially when there's already a generic character. So, I would say just make it more of a chance character, a dice roller, you know? So yeah, giving them Death Defy would cool. I'm trying to think of any other luck-based things. Alright, I'm going to focus on this fairy chest real fast. Nope, darn it. That's always the hardest part. Anyways, yeah, maybe just like random chance to reduce damage, but I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Maybe something with rune generation? No, I think I'm making it too complex. I think just adding Death Defy to the Knave makes it feel more like a chance and counter character, and emphasizes the flavor. Maybe like with things crafting, the question mark things. Oh yeah, let's hold up. Let me just check it. So, second to last to the big room. Last. Yep, works. All right, we now know how to solve these rooms. All right. So yeah, if we I think just making a chance character is the best solution. Gives it an identity that's... The problem was, yeah, its identity was kind of into the base of the game and not really covered properly. Now the big problem with that is the description I gave doesn't give any strategy. You don't really strategize knowing Death Defy is going to appear. You just kind of pray it occurs when you're in danger. Then again, there's not really much strategy to crits. Adding the the fact that you see when you're going to crit actually adds more to strategy, even if it doesn't add more to flavor. So I think that's what why they went for it. Huh. Makes sense. Alright. After Knave, we have Barbarian King. So yeah, Barbarian King is the generic... when you first start the game, it is the best class because it doesn't die. So basically, and when you first start the game, the Vampire Rune is the best rune because it makes it so you don't die. The fact that they basically gave them the Vampire Rune in their own way was perfect. Like, I have no way of fixing it. It sets the field properly. It sets the... yeah, it does the field properly. It maintains the same strategy. Like, and it doesn't, like, overpower compared to the other classes. Which I guess... Okay, now that I bring that up, I was worried that the Knight might have been too strong, but, like, if you're powering up all the classes, yeah, you have to power that up a lot more. Because the Knight had nothing special. So the Knight inevitably lags behind due to the lack of anything special. Huh. Alright. I'm now at 83 strength, that's cool. Anyways. Yeah, so with that, I think I've said everything about the Knave. I've talked about the Barbarian King. But there's not much to say about the Barbarian King. They had a job. They did it well. Like, I wouldn't know how I would change the Barbarian King to make it better. Like, maybe a natural gigantism, like they're naturally bigger than other classes. And then with gigantism they become huge. But I don't know how that affects the game. Yeah, no, I think they did good. Alright, so with that we go to the Shinobi. As far as I can tell, the Shinobi just deals additional damage to specific enemies. Which is like... Yeah, the Shinobi had the feel down properly at the beginning of the game. So I understand they didn't have much to... Okay, before I go into this. Journal entry number 5. I cannot exit through the front gate, but that is of little concern. I'm committed to my cause and will not back out. So far, none of the maps I found coincide with my own. Yet upon comparing them as a whole, I believe I unearthed a slight pattern. It seems the force is always to the right, the tower above, and below, well, hopefully I won't have to find out. Alright. So yeah, the shinobi, like the whole thing is that they deal damage and move fast. They didn't really change that at all, it seems. Wait, did I finish out the tire? I'm gonna go over there and just check that top half, but it looks like I finished out the entire Castle Hansen. Wow. Alright. Alright, so, back to the shinobi. Grab that real fast. So the shinobi, it's just like, it's a class that has a job, and it did it well in the first place, so it doesn't need to really do it again. They just kind of added to it. It seems like it deals distinct damage depending on what enemy they're facing. It's like, that's like not very interesting in my opinion. They didn't, like, the strategy, yeah, they really, all it is they didn't change anything, which they didn't have to. By the way, we finished out the entirety of the first area. That's impressive. So I'll go to the second area, but because of my promise, even if we find the boss, we will not be facing the boss. Because I do not want to face the boss without this. This is the grind episode. We don't deal with bosses and progress the story during a grind episode. Alright. So yeah, they didn't damage how the shinobi works, but they didn't really... They just did more of the same. That's my only issue with it. Which, like, more the same is not really a bad thing with a class like that. It's just... It's one of those things of, like, wasted potential more than anything else. What would you give the shinobi? Maybe... So, when you run... The shinobi moves very fast, and when you run into people, you often just accidentally take damage you weren't supposed to. What if you swing, if like you're winding up your swing as you run, and as you land collision damage, you instead, like, you know, do the whole ninja teleport behind them thing. All it is it just means that you don't take the damage, or you take reduced damage and hit back. I'm not sure how strong that is. Maybe it was too strong. Maybe they considered it and it was too strong. Yeah. I don't... Again, like, I will note that when I'm talking about these things, I'm talking about them from the perspective of, you know, wishful wonderland. When you're actually building and designing these things, you don't have time for some stuff. You don't... Things don't work out as well as you expect them to. Like, yeah. So, like, yeah. Yeah. It was just a little disappointing when I'm seeing all these cool and interesting changes with all the different characters, and then the shinobi is basically the exact same. Alright. After the shinobi, we talked about the lich. Miner, So the miner, really, it's not that they changed the miner. It's that they changed the game that the miner is in, and that makes a huge difference. The problem... So I actually thought the miner, the spelunker, was a bad class, but for reasons that weren't its fault. It's just that because of the size of the area, you were going to end up exploring everything anyways. Now that everything's huge, the ability to choose a target and, like, it be a legitimate, like, this place is way too huge, you're not going to stumble upon it on accident. Like, that change to the map design, I think, made this class so much more valuable. Like it was like they didn't have to increase the power of the Spelunker to make it stronger. The very change in design made the class stronger. I think that's pretty cool. That just changing the game around the class made the class distinct. And just from there, it strengthened what it does. Huh. Oh my gosh. Alright. With that, is there any classes I've missed? I think I got all the classes. I think all that's left is the Spell Sword, which I have not played yet, so I don't know the changes. Yeah. Yeah, at this point it's just kind of becoming a grind, like, as we expected it to be. Like, I don't know what else I have to talk about. Like, I can talk about other things unrelated to this game. Like, in case you haven't noticed, this channel has a lot of Dungeons & Dragons stuff to it. I guess I could just talk about the channel a little bit. So, yeah, So, it's just, a lot of my videos recently, like my very first video I made was, I felt really proud of the work I did, that I went out of my way to learn how to edit, and like, I brought up an idea that I don't think was, or at least a concept that, while people talk about it, I feel like they didn't go as in depth to it as I did. But then it ends up being one of my least watched views on channel, one of my least watched episodes. And then later when I do just an off-the-cuff review of an Unearthed Arcana, that is one of my most watched videos right now. Or at least, so I should note that I'm recording these, you know, I'm publishing these after I've recorded them, so maybe that's changed by now, but like the Phantom, what was it? The Astral Self-Analysis, I literally just like read that class, just pulled up some pictures, and made it. I didn't really think too hard about everything, and I have changed my opinion since releasing it, but it's still my most highest rated video. And it's just like, compared to some of my other videos that put in so much effort, it was nothing. So the reason I'm kind of doing this is because I want to kind of experiment with episodes that are entertaining for others. Yet, like, that first episode, I think I worked on it for 2 weeks. And, like, there was a bunch of things I could have done better now that I know more. I'm sure there's stuff that, as I learn more, I could do even better beyond that. But, like, I worked 2 weeks for an episode that has, like, 4 views. And then I worked 1 day for an episode that has 200. So, I don't know, just when you see that, you start deciding, hey, I want to try to find videos that don't take so much effort. It's not that I'm trying to be lazy, it's that I'm trying to make my time worth something. And, like, even if these videos fail, I'm enjoying my experience here. Like, I'm enjoying having fun. Like, this is a fun game. I love playing this game. I'm enjoying playing through this, this mod. So, even if these videos failed, I did not put way too much effort into it. Like, the effort is more in my practice in the game than with like just like timing and stuff myself. And like, yeah, I'm able to enjoy myself, and if people enjoy it as well, like, awesome. I found something that both of us can enjoy while crafting at the same time. Because, yeah, basically what happened is there's some videos that, like, I'm really close to finishing, and I'm really proud of the work I put into it. but they're not finished because I keep struggling with just doing those finishing touches because it's just work that I'm not sure if the work's even needed, and it's hard. Like, mentally, it's kind of frustrating to know that you could be spending all this work and then it's bested by something that you just do for fun one day. So yeah, basically I'm just trying to check if I can do this just through fun. You know, focus on the things that are fun first when you go through that. And expand it to things that, you know, figure out how much effort is needed. Because, yeah, just I put in too much effort at the beginning of this channel. And I need to... Okay, I might need to get out of this area because this is the harder section of the forest, and it's starting to show. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Alright. So, as for what do I want to do with the channel, I guess is a theme. So, you might notice that this channel is just named after me. I had a few nicknames in mind, but I just kind of came to the conclusion that until I figure out what people want to see the most, I'm just going to name it after myself and just do what I want, basically. So, if that means video games, it's video games. If that means Dungeons & Dragons, it means Dungeons & Dragons. I even had an idea for doing a political video, but then I'm just like, I don't know how to approach this without just making things unnecessarily volatile. So I'm holding back on that until I figure it out. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm just planning to do whatever I can, whatever I want, to an extent. If people start desiring to see certain things, I'll start working on them. If they're things that are easy, that are fun to do, then yeah, I'm more than happy to. I just need to know what they are. And when you're just doing one thing, you don't really broaden yourself out. You don't really see what it is other people are looking for. You don't know how, like, you just don't know. Journal entry number 6. I have never liked the dark. I prefer to meet my enemies on an open field in plain sight. But now I find myself braving these dark gallows with one gauntlet outstretched, the other by my hilt. I can never tell what horror lies beyond on each corner. I am the greatest swordsman in all of the lands, yet even I am having trouble keeping these demons at bay. My siblings should be grateful that I rushed ahead of them. For them it was a blessing in disguise. They would not have the fortitude to survive these halls. Kind of funny that, like, I'm doing this episode of this grind to survive the area that I'm grinding in. But yeah, as I said, the Lich, whether it's because the build, the strategy fits with my general strategy that I play with, or that it's overpowered, this works for me. Like, I'm better with this than the others. Alright. So in case you're wondering, the reason I haven't healed... Okay. The reason I wasn't healing is because whenever I find food, it's still better, and I'm pretty sure this reduces my damage, not just like my max health. So I want to make sure, like, if I heal just to be low enough on damage that I can't win fights and take more damage, like, that just lose more, you know? Ow. Alright. Oh, hey. Greetings, adventurer. I'm here to give you a chance of a lifetime. So I like how they changed his name, so it's Fritz question mark, it's Miserly Elf. For the measly sum of 25% of your current gold, you have a chance to open one of 3 chests. One of the chests will triple what you paid, but the other 2 are empty. Now it's Cheapskate Elf. I just picked the first one because it's always random. You were lucky this time. And now it's Sore Loser Elf. As I'm 30,000. $30,000. This might be all I needed for the grind. I will go one more just to see what my level is afterwards, but this might be the end of the grind. Like, this might be the last. After that, that might be the last one. Alright. Dragon Bracers. Okay. That's intense how they're finding all these, like... So Dragon Bracers, I'm pretty sure, are like... You know how there's those lines of... Like, there's a bunch of different armors and we're grabbing all the ones to the left? Dragon Bracers is further on the right than the left, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's one of the late game equipments. So yeah, the thing about this mod, I'm pretty sure there's, like, given that the gambling one, despite being about the architect instead of, sorry, just give me a sec, I need to focus. Alright, so the haggle is about the architect instead of Sharon, but it still has a picture of Sharon. I have a feeling they did not add any visual elements, which makes me believe that we're not going to see any like new themes beyond the classes and the size of this. I think the class changes. Basically, I think we've seen most of what Lament of Zors has as a special effect. I hope to be surprised, but I fear that we may have already seen all of the tricks up its sleeves. Well, until we find the spell sword. But that worries me. I'll still play all the way to the end, because some people have not played through this game in the first place. But yeah. Maybe a little unfortunate. Still playing through to the end. I still enjoy this a lot. As I said, like, once you get the zen of this fight, of the fighting system, it's just enjoyable to blast through a dungeon like this. Oh my gosh. They are breaking, it seems. I wonder if I stay. Yep. And they give me my health and everything when they break. I wonder if that helps with the breaking process or not. No, it just changed colors back, so I really do not know what causes the break. I think it's just a random chance every time it hits a wall. I'm not going to bother with those because there's just... You have to do light taps to not jump into the spikes. Alright, no fighting. So, I can take hits, but I just can't swing at them. Alright. 98 damage. That's worth noting that these things are scary. Alright. Having these spells in this late game area is... Oh. Hi. Alright. Whew. Yeah, I might have to go back and explore the other side. Alright. Yeah, just... this exploration has been quite the success. Yeah, I'm going to head back, because it seems like... so, inside of this forest is like an additional layer of forest. Alright, ready for assistance. Hermes boots, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to this side later. There is stuff on the left side that are still unexplored and more likely to... basically, it's just as likely to get gold, but less likely to kill me. And this is a grind, so... not just trying to kill this character off, trying to actually get as much as I can. And yep, just go down here. Alright. Oh. Hi. That's threatening. Alright. Strategy didn't work perfectly, but it worked. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep this because, so, the things they could get here are mostly, they're mostly good, but you can't have more than one. And one of them is the Hedgehog's Curse, which would ruin, basically, it's, Hedgehog's Curse is Sonic style, you lose gold when you get hit. And it's just, it's not worth taking the risk when I already have one. Not when I have this much gold as well. Like, I take the risk because it's interesting, but once I have 100, you know, I have so much gold. Like, taking that risk is just... oh, right. No. Guardian Helm. Alright. Yep. If I'm not a proper level once I get all this gold spent, like, I'm gonna be shocked. Oh my gosh. Whew. Yeah. Playing this right now is just, like, even though I'm taking damage, even though I'm, like, having to focus, it is still kind of a zen experience. It's just... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's challenging, and that's making it relaxing, because it's properly challenging. Yep. Just want to break everything in case there's gold inside. Alright, so as I said, even if I find this, I'm not going to fight the boss, because I'm waiting for everyone to be here. And some people might want to skip the grind. But yeah. Just... this is just... this is something. something. Aerial bracers, jump. Alright. It's a lot easier. Okay, sometimes it like 18 my down inputs, which is kind of... Alright. So there's that one above us. That's actually a lot farther away than I thought. Alright, well let's start here, because there's a path up right after here. Being secure, doing the job, getting the stuff. Alright. I don't know if the evolution points are resetting when I take that penalty down or not. It would put a cap limitation to how long this character can go on for, and therefore I would not be surprised. I don't know if they are. Alright, I'm just gonna head right from here. Try to get to that other area. Yeah, I still can't believe how big this is and how I'm still going. You know? Still getting 2 evolution points. So yeah, maybe it is resetting. Because I feel like evolution point costs would have capped a while ago. Alright, so there's one to the up there. Yeah, like I've seen more of the upgrades of these guys than I have of these guys. It's kind of funny. Oh, hey, a boss. Or a mini boss. I haven't been paying attention to my numbers. 112 strength, 140 intelligence. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get another. So we have that side that's dangerous. We have that one room. I'm going to check that one room, and then I guess we're going to that dangerous spot, because we have nowhere else to go. So in danger. Yes, we go to the Maya, but no, I'm gonna wait to tell people until after the grind episode. No looking. Okay, so this is a very easy one. You just do this as long as you have that dash. You just dash backwards, and you never look at it. Otherwise, you have to swing in time to kind of straight backwards. Going right into the danger zone. Alright. Whew. I still can't believe how big this is. Like, sure, bigger, but like, my gosh. In case you're wondering, when I hit tab, you usually see like almost the whole map, and then you just have to like do these things to see it. In other words, this green spot is probably bigger than the whole map in the regular Rogue Legacy. Same here. I guess the actual Rogue Legacy is wider. There's a spot I haven't explored yet. It's a dead end, but it's something. It's something. Well, if I ever find another teleporter, keep that in mind. I have my fairy item. I can hit you all I want. I swear that really big sprinters. Oh, I have boots, duh. Get the EVPs. There's only one EVP. I guess I killed 4 of them. I guess that I'm pretty much maxed out for this area. Ooh. Yeah, it seems like because I keep gaining EVPs, that there's never an absolute maximum, which is quite a powerful thing to know. I guess there is an absolute maximum when there's actually no more enemies in the entire dungeon, which does happen. The other way seems to be a closed space. So yeah, might as well get this one. Alright. 473 health, 383 mana. So this is basically our cap. So 473 health, 383 mana, 115 strength, and 143 intelligence. Beautiful. Alright. A little too many projectiles. Alright, well, as long as those ones are grounded. I'm gonna go with this first. Alright, ooh. Hi. Trying to do this safely. Gosh. The fact that gold teleports to you is just so nice in this. It's probably another theme that, like... I'm not sure if they balanced it. Yeah, they did not. Yeah. Gold teleporting to you is just one of the themes that was like, thank goodness, that was a positive addition in all ways. So, let's see, I feel like we haven't done much more than this one life, and yeah, we've probably been playing this one life for over an hour. Like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not sure how enjoyable it is to watch. I hope you're enjoying it if you're watching. I don't want to burn out my voice box actively, and I don't know what else to talk about. Ugh. Alright, we have this area done, so we have that area over there. And then, yeah, if we get to that other area in, if after we do that area in the other castle, if we've cleared out both of these areas, I'm going to actively kill this character so I can reset and do a different one, because I do not want to explore the other areas. Not yet. More damage than I needed to there. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm at 517 health. It's still growing. And with his stronger enemies, it's growing stronger and faster. Yeah. Oh boy. Yep, 4 evolution points for that guy. jukebox. Again, don't know what sort of music he likes. Yeah. Alright. Ooh. Upgraded jelly. Alright, there's one more. Filling. Alright. There we are. Woo! Alright. Oh my gosh, I'm getting close to 50,000 gold. Yeah, there's no way I'm not going to be strong enough at the end of this to explore this area with regular characters. So, yeah, once I'm done here, I'm just ending the video. My god. Just... And, like, if I sacrifice health, I could get even... I could keep going even longer. Problem is just its position. You have to like do that to make sure I don't hit it just going down. Alright. Alright, is there any area? There's one up there. Alright, so there's one up there. And that's it. Alright. Sorry that I missed that one. Gonna mean it's a long trek. So... Alright, that wasn't as long as I thought it would be. Seems they're actually clearing the entire place out. It's nice. Feels nice. The exclamation nest. Alright. Is there anything at the top? There's a treasure chest at the top. I don't think we're getting that treasure chest. I'm gonna leave and just kill some of these people, some of these enemies. Yeah. And yeah, I'm assuming this is lowering my damage. Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little. Yep. 102. Yep, it is lowering my damage. Not by much, though. Drop down. There you are. Goodbye. That's nice. Just killing themselves to give me. Oh, duh, I have step on spikes. Well, it looks like we're about done with this area, which means this character won't come to a close. But my gosh, we actually got to 50,000 gold. Oh yeah, welcome spikes. Yeah, we're just gonna end it when this character's done. or not, we are ready. Like, 52,000. I'm not getting that treasure chest, I'm getting the gold in here instead. Alright, where's the fastest teleporter? Alright, we're heading left. Well, first off, I'd like to thank anyone who's watching to this far. Yeah, just... I know that this isn't always the most entertaining. That's why I wanted to make sure to make that notice at the beginning. I think I kind of figured out a lot of what I think about this game. I enjoy it a lot, and I do recommend it to anyone who is on the fence. There is the second game in this series is coming out soon, and like I'm planning to get it myself. The thing is, right now the beta test there's not enough in it. It's the first area basically, and then just the first. Yeah, it's basically just the first dungeon, the first boss, and like I like some of the things they're doing. Like, not every character has a sword. Like the barbarian has an axe, the wizard has a wand, and they all like, so their basic weapon attack feels different. And I like how they did that. But, you know, there's the barbarian, there's the mage, and there's the wizard. They don't have a knave class, I don't think. They don't have a, they don't have any additional classes, like this KW build is pretty small. The last area I found is a random teleportation circle. Beautiful. Well, you decide our resting place. Here it is. Let's do the gold at the bottom of that shelf. There we go. Alright, Imperial Sword. And now I'm like actively taking hits, because I don't want to rebuild that area just yet. Let's hear the plinging. 2 lines. 3 lines. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 11 lines of enemies, guys. 11 lines of enemies. Yeah, I'm ending this at this picture right here. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and next time we'll go a lot deeper into this game. Alright, well, have a great day.